The Bitcoin 2024 conference has officially started in Nashville. MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor predicts Bitcoin's going to be $49 million per coin. And the last thing that we're going to be going over is Ripple Payments is officially expanded to over 80 countries. Make sure you guys tune in all the way to the end of this video to find out all the details. Hey guys, Ryan with Big Dog Investing. Thank you guys for tuning in to my channel. If you guys could do a couple of things for me, if you guys want to comment, subscribe to my channel if you guys have not done so already. Click the bell notification down below so YouTube can send you guys notifications whenever I release videos. Watch my videos all the way to the end. If you guys could share my videos and share my channel with anyone. I'm trying to grow my channel as much as I can. I definitely need your guys' help in doing so. Getting started. Today be Saturday, July 27th. On my channel, we talk about anything that impacts financial markets. This is going to be mainly focused on cryptocurrency. We also dabble in the stock market as well as the political landscape, especially because we are in an election year. Getting started, the total market cap for all cryptocurrency right now is $2.4 trillion. This is a 1.14% decrease on the day today. So we are roughly about where we were a couple days ago when we had our last video. Fear and greed index roughly about the same, still in the greed at 63. Bitcoin's price is roughly about the same, currently trading at $67,367. We saw a price drop in Ethereum, currently trading at $3,226, and XRP right now at 60.76 cents. Now we saw a price drop in Ethereum, and this is the buy the rumor sell the news event. I still have long-term aspirations for Ethereum since the spot Ethereum ETF officially went live. So the security version of Ethereum people can buy now, and you can buy them with like Fidelity, BlackRock, Citadel, these institutions like that. Now, the reason why I have a long-term outlook on Ethereum is because it was the same thing with Bitcoin when it went live with its spot Bitcoin ETF. We are currently down 7.56% since the spot Ethereum ETF officially went live. But if we look at when Bitcoin officially went live with their spot Bitcoin ETF was on January 10th is when the SEC officially approved it. Bitcoin was trading roughly about $46,000. We saw a price drop from 46,000 to 39,000 in less than 12 days. 12, 13 days, we saw that price drop just depending on which day you look at. Then within that 2-month time frame from the spot Bitcoin ETF going live, we are at 46, dropped to 39. In less than 2 months and 3 days later, we reached all-time highs at $73,000. So, in my opinion, I think that this is exactly what we are seeing with the price movements with Ethereum. If we look back at the last month, we saw the price of Ethereum at this $3,500. We saw the price drop. We see a slow gain back up. And, obviously we have a little price movements here and there, but I do see us going back up again. Again, make sure you guys do your guys' own independent research before making any financial decision. And nothing I say in this video should be considered financial advice. Biggest gainers and losers on the day today. Biggest gainers, we don't really have any too much. We see Jasmy and BCH currently both up 3.6%, and then we see HNT and XRP 1.3%, Stacks 1.4%, Lido DAO 1.2%. Biggest losers on the day though are going to be a lot of our meme coins. Popcat 11.1%, With 5.9%, Bonk 5.7%. So we see Pop, Bonk, Whiff, Flocky, Sheeb, Brett, and I'm assuming Dogecoins. Yeah, Doge right here, 2.8%. So a lot of our meme coins are currently down. Again, meme coins are really volatile, already in a volatile market with cryptocurrency. So make sure you guys don't invest any money into any financial markets or even gamble if you guys can't afford to lose that money. Getting into our news though, because I don't want to take up too much time, I'm gonna try to get through things as quick as possible. We saw Israel's prime minister fly into the United States, meet with Congress, gave a little speech. What was a really slap in the face to him and basically our country, in my opinion, was the vice president, Kamala Harris, was not here for this. She did have a private meeting with him, but in my opinion, she should have been here to address Congress with the prime minister here. President Joe Biden could not make this. I do believe this was due to his illness, and Vice President Kamala Harris should have actually been here, but obviously she didn't show up. Big slap in the face, in my opinion. We saw protests around the United States. Here is some of the vandalism that went on. Obviously, we can't accept any of this, and we did see the burning of American flags. They actually took the American flags down. They took three of them, replaced them with their flags. The protesters, not going to name names as much as I can because I, have been banned on YouTube before as well as TikTok, and I don't want to get banned. I want to keep on getting out a lot of this useful information to you guys. So obviously, you guys can read some of this stuff. But several House Republicans, including Speaker Mike Johnson, replaced three American flags that were torn down and burned by protesters. So obviously, it's really great to see that the United States and a lot of our representatives are actually seeing what's going on and realizing that America first is should be a priority. We saw Christianity get mocked at the Olympics. The Last Supper was one that was one of the final straws. So a lot of people have stopped watching the Olympics because of this. And in my opinion, I'm on the same boat right now. I think that this is completely ridiculous. We see these satanic symbols flying up left and right all around the world, especially at a lot of these major events. The Olympics, we see them at major sporting events. We see them at a lot of concerts now. In my opinion, completely ridiculous, slap in the face. And also with this, the Olympics got so much backlash, they started removing trying to save face. So they started taking down their opening ceremony highlights. And then they also sent out, I think one's an IOC, and I can't remember the terminology of the official documents that were sent out. But it's basically used for copyright infringement. So they're trying to get a lot of these creators to take down the Olympics, saying that you're not allowed to use their live events because it's copyrighted for your own personal gain. But obviously, what they're trying to do is scrub the internet of everything that they did was wrong. But everyone's already seen it, and I'm for protesting the Olympics right now. We see Vice President Kamala Harris explain her ideology that everyone ends up in the same place, and this is called communism. So she comes up here and says, not everyone starts the same. We can completely agree with that. Here in the United States, not everyone's born equal. I used to work at a children's hospital. I worked on a hemonc floor. So kids with blood disorder and cancer. Obviously, people who are born with a lot of different disorders and diseases. It's not fair. Obviously, life is not fair. We hear that all the time, especially when you guys were growing up. But you are in control of where you started. So you might not start at the same spot, but you have equal opportunity to succeed in life, and only you are to blame at the end of your life where you have gotten. If you've gotten far, awesome, congratulations. You move past, you might need to have worked harder for it, but you've gotten there. You succeeded with the American dream. But if you keep on blaming the same people and the same things because you have not gotten where you were, basically because of where you were started, only you are to blame in that. And in my opinion, we do not need to all start at the same spot. Would we all like to? Yeah, obviously that should be great. But people shouldn't have to pay more due to somebody else starting somewhere else. So that's just my take on it. Obviously, we keep on seeing a lot of these programs keep on getting funded, and nothing's been changed with a lot of these programs. Giving out free money doesn't change anyone's desire or motivation to succeed in life. And we keep on seeing this since the 40s, 50s, 60s. A lot of these welfare programs have not actually succeeded in doing what they were supposed to. The media is working overtime trying to remove border responsibility from Kamala. It is too bad Biden is on video saying he put her in charge of the border. Would be a shame if it went viral. So Time posted, and this was in the 2024 elections. Kamala Harris was never Biden's border Caesar. So I know it sounds really bad, but it's basically, or czar, however you want to pronounce it. That's basically just the term of somebody who's in charge of something. So, charge of border. Here's what was really said, and this is the video. Again, everything's going to be down in the comments below. But we see the news media trying to scrub, just like we saw with the Olympics. Kind of crazy. California Governor Gavin Newsom has issued an executive order for the removal of homeless encampments in their state. We saw this time and time again, how Gavin Newsom is basically only doing this for his own benefit. It's kind of crazy that this is just in time for the 2024 election. So is he going to try to remain governor and use this to get votes? In my opinion, I agree with this. A lot of people are also speculating that he could be using this as a ploy to get the vice presidential piece on the ticket for Kamala Harris's campaign run. Then a lot of people are saying, well, due to the 12th Amendment, he can't do it because they both live in the same state. Well, that is true. One way that he can get around this is just by resigning as governor and moving to a different state. Now, would that be an extreme? Yeah, but could it happen? Yeah, it's out there. So we won't know until she actually picks who her VP pick is, for her candidacy for 2024 for the Democratic Party. Navy SEALs and sailors who refused this certain vaccination. Obviously, you guys can use your own deductive reasoning. And again, this is one of the reasons why I officially got let go from the Children's Hospital, is because I did not take this. Will have their records cleared and will be protected against discrimination on promotion boards for the next 3 years. We saw a lot of people who were in the military refuse this and were actually removed from duty, kicked out, dishonorably discharged from the military. Huge slap in the face, in my opinion. And one person who I know in particular very, very well. He was in my fraternity. He was my little bro. Shout out to him. Um, you know, Unfortunately, people did take, these vaccinations to keep their jobs. Some did not, and they got let go. And it's kind of a slap in the face. We saw a lot of people lose their jobs, due to this. So, in my opinion, I think this is great that they're actually starting to get something back. But in my opinion, this isn't enough. They need to get a pay raise, get everything that was owed to them for their refusal. Exclusive interview with John Deaton. So if you guys want to, I wanted you guys to watch this interview. Mario Nafali's gotten really huge into the X Spaces. So if you guys are not on X, I would highly encourage you guys to create an account and also follow him. He has a lot of good interviews. He goes live almost every single day. Obviously, I can't listen to him every single day, but this video and interview with John Deaton, who's trying to replace Elizabeth Warren for the Massachusetts senator race. Um, Kind of great in my opinion. I like the interview. John Deaton has a book and also is pro cryptocurrency. That's why we like him so much. Now, getting into our Watcher Guru news, this is our stock market. Over 1.1 trillion wiped out from the stock market in one day. So on July 24th, 1.1 trillion dollars was wiped out of the US stock market. So if we look at the entire cryptocurrency market cap, 2.4 trillion, almost half of the cryptocurrency market cap was wiped out in one day. So when people say cryptocurrency is so volatile, yeah, you know what it is. But so is the stock market. $1.1 trillion wiped out in 24 hours. Yes, the stock market is just as volatile. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to get a drink here really quick. But former President Trump raises over $4 million in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency for campaign donations. We see the former president as a huge advocate for cryptocurrencies, and he also is going to be speaking at the Bitcoin conference. So after he goes over his speech, we'll go ahead and talk about it. It happens today, so we'll see what happens. And again, this video will be posted tomorrow on Sunday, July 28th. And due to this, obviously he might have already had his speech by then. But in my next video, we'll be going over with a lot of he has to say. OpenAI to launch the AI search engine Search GPT. So we're seeing a lot of this going on. This is OpenAI. Um, we're going to see what happens. Is this going to end up taking over Google? In my opinion, it has a good chance to not take over, but to compete with Google, which is Alphabet. If you guys are looking at Google's stock, it's Alphabet. So we'll see what happens with it. Solana flips BNB, becoming the fourth largest cryptocurrency in the world by market value. Can we see XRP get up there? Yeah, we saw XRP as the number two cryptocurrency by market cap, just behind Bitcoin back in, I believe it was 2017, when they had their price run from less than a penny all the way up to over $3.14 per coin. Obviously, XRP still been in a lawsuit with the SEC. State of Michigan adds Bitcoin ETFs to its pension fund, discloses 6.6 million in purchase. So we'll see what happens with this. Just wanted to check the time, see where we're at. I'm gonna try to stay under 20 minutes. Jim Cramer says Kamala Harris would absolutely, no doubt about it, be good for the stock market. We always like the reverse. So if Kamala Harris gets elected, and in my opinion, I don't see her becoming president of the United States. No offense, I think she's absolutely atrocious. We saw a lot of things that we disliked about her. When she was trying to run for the presidency in 2020, until she backed out and sat on Joe Biden's ticket. She's done nothing really, in my opinion, as VP. She was a terrible DA in California, mainly in San Francisco. She decided not to prosecute certain individuals. She decided to actually prosecute people for smoking grass. We won't get into the actual term because, again, we don't want to get age restricted. But she ended up going on to the Breakfast Club's radio station and bragged about how she used to do it. So she put people in jail for doing things that she was already doing, in my opinion, completely ridiculous. Over 1,900 cases tried, 1,500 people went into prison because of it, and also she hid evidence to keep a man on death row. So completely slap in the face, in my opinion. Absolutely dislike her. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he will sign an executive order for the U.S. to buy 550 Bitcoin per day to build a reserve of 4 million Bitcoin if elected president. We don't see RFK becoming president of the United States during this election. But obviously, in my opinion, I do think that this is actually a great proposal. Obviously, we see our national debt keep on increasing year over year. So, could this help our national debt? In my opinion, I do believe so. I think we're right now currently $33.7 trillion in debt, and our debt keeps on increasing. U.S. Senator Tim Scott says Bitcoin's future has to be in America. Completely agree with this. Now, this is where we see our Bitcoin conference. If you guys want to watch the full conference, it's going to be linked down below. A lot of time, 10 hours, 15 minutes, and 12 seconds. But just in $108 billion Van Eck CEO says, Bitcoin is in my blood. I get why Bitcoin, I get why freedom. So, in my opinion, I do agree with this. Um, Mainly in the fact that I see Bitcoin's future here in America, and I see Bitcoin's future and price increase. um, this guy right here, if you guys don't know, used to work for the United States in the government as a contractor. He ended up taking some secrets. Again, I don't want to say his name because I think that he also gets banned for accounts and stuff like that. But we are winning, ladies and gentlemen, for Bitcoin. Completely agree with that. Now, this is one thing. Bull case scenario, Michael Saylor. So he is the founder and CEO of MicroStrategy. He's been buying up Bitcoin. He gets loans out, has investors invest into his company to buy more Bitcoin. Says bull case for Bitcoin is $49 million by 2045. So we're going to see a price increase, according to him, to $49 million in a bull case scenario. Now, in a bear case, so bull is the high, bear is low. He talks about in this video that he sees a bear at $3 million per Bitcoin. Now, obviously, a $3 million price increase, that's quite a bit, especially because Bitcoin's under $100,000 per coin. So if we see a price increase to even $3 million per coin by 2045, now again, that's going to be in 11 years. But that's a big price increase. That'll outdo the S&P 500. That will outdo the Dow Jones. And in my opinion, that will outdo the Magnificent Seven. So those are the seven biggest stock market by market cap for the stock market. Ripple payment platform increased to more than 80 countries. Flip the switch and they start using XRP. So Chad ends up saying Ripple started stating that the payments platform has increased to 10 to more than 80 countries. So global liquidity. Additionally, we are continually investing in increasing our liquidity capacity globally, alongside broadbanding our payment capabilities in more than 80 countries worldwide. In my opinion, absolutely great. See a huge future in the XRP token on the XRPL, which is the XRP ledger. Mason, Crypto Mason shares that HBAR has more devs, so developers, than Solana, BNB, and Base combined. So Base is really big. If you guys don't know, Base is the platform for cryptocurrency and digital assets on Coinbase. BNB Avalanche, another big cryptocurrency tokens as well as networks, and then we have Hedera right here. Obviously, Ethereum is going to be our biggest. It's the number 2 cryptocurrency by market cap by a lot. So, but it's nice to see Hedera. Great cryptocurrency network. The HBAR token is used on Hedera, and it's different. It's not a blockchain; it's a hash graph. So I highly encourage you guys to do research on it. Hedera says real world assets hashtag tokenization is the next step for Web3. Hedera is home for RWA, real world assets. Get real. Completely agree with that. Nice thing for Hedera to post that. And then Brian Armstrong, he's the co founder and CEO over at Coinbase. Shares. Today we announced that Chris Laneheen, Paul Clement, and Krista Davis are joining Coinbase's board of directors. So, if you guys don't know who they are, some background: Paul Clement is a powerhouse litigator who reeled in federal agency overreach by overturning Chevron. So, this was Chevron's case where basically the government um, ended up having people who own companies pay a certain amount of money so that their regulatory agencies could be in place. One of those, which started it, was a small fishing boat company. So it's a small, mom and pop store, mom and pop job company, and they basically had to pay $700 a day to go out and go fishing. And that $700 a day was allowed for federal agencies to make sure that they weren't breaking the law. And if they broke the law, they'd have to pay more on top of the 700 just for that agency to even be in place. Krista Davis is a global financial leader with a track record driving top and bottom line growth of the CFOs of Anon, and is previously at Microsoft. He serves the board at Stripe, as well as help drive shareholder value. And then Chris Lane is a renowned political strategist known for his crisis work in Clinton White House for making Airbnb legal in all 50 states and worldwide. It is now helping OpenAI on policy help us secure bipartisan pro crypto policy. Great thing for cryptocurrency, great thing for Coinbase if you guys own the stock market. Uh, and then also, in my opinion, a great thing for cryptocurrency as a whole in the United States, because they're going to be pushing for bipartisan agreements on digital assets here in the United States and actually have a pro cryptocurrency policy. Paul Gruhl says, "It's honestly not fair. I already had the best job in law, and now I'll have advice and counsel of Paul Clement, the leading Supreme Court light of our time." Um, I'd guess we have a few things to discuss. So, great thing for him to share this. Obviously, he has a big favorite, Paul. He wants to work with him the most. We'll see what happens with this. He's the chief legal officer over at Coinbase. Now, Brad Garlinghouse, for those of you guys that don't know, he's the CEO over at Ripple. People are jumping to conclusions about Kamala Harris. So he says, jumping to conclusions and assumptions about candidates purely based on political affiliation without any policy proposals is holding the crypto industry back, similar to how tribalism has for years. VP Harris is no stranger to Silicon Valley and has an incredible opportunity to provide a reset for critical issues in the U.S. competitiveness like crypto regulations. I'll keep an open mind for now, but I'll also argue that if she uses the same Elizabeth Warren-like rhetoric, then she has miscalculated the political liability that is Gary Gensler. Completely agree with that. And he also shares, it would behoove a VP Harris not to listen and discuss and distance herself ASAP from folks like this who spout utter nonsense. So this is Representative Brad Sherman. For those of you guys that don't know, he's one that talked about how, cryptocurrencies can basically come up with these tokens at random, print as much as they want to, and how they're not allowed to do it. But the US government can print as many dollars as it wants to because it's the US government and he doesn't care. And he basically talks about how why Bitcoin is more valuable than Skitty Bebop coin. So if you guys listen, he says, well, Skitty Bebop coin is valuable. I can sell it and then I can't. And then a bunch of people lose money. Obviously, we need cryptocurrency regulation here in the United States. We're asking members of Congress to do that. But, obviously, he only cares about making fun of cryptocurrency. So we'll see what happens with this. Ripple X ends up saying, this is another one of those devs projects. Futureverse. So if you guys want to, here's a little, take on this. We'll see some games played on the XRPL. We'll see devs coming out. So this is Ultimate Isles coming soon. I'm not going to be playing this game, not sponsored by anything. If you guys want to sponsor me, please reach out. Would greatly appreciate it. Comment in my, comments and we'll reach out and we'll talk. But you know, obviously, this would be a great game to play. I might play it eventually, but waiting on a lot of stuff. And then obviously, if you can get tokens back and rewards for playing some of these games, that would be great. Checking time. Ripple Swell. So if you guys want to go to Ripple Swell, it's going to be in Miami from October 5th or October 15th and October 16th. So if I can get out there, I'm going to. I don't think that I can because I'll be coming back from October break. I'm a high school teacher. And then the last thing that we're going to be going over is U.S. President Biden is expected to unveil a proposal for a dramatically reforming the U.S. Supreme Court SCOTUS on Monday. And I wanted to bring this out at the last because the reason why is we have a separation of powers for a reason. We have three branches in our government. We have the judicial, the legislative, and the executive. The Supreme Court sits on the judicial aspect. the legislative is Congress, and then our executive is President Biden. So, if our executive branch wants to reform one of the other branches, in my opinion, that's not a separation of powers, so not one branch can basically become too powerful. He wants to basically hold the executive branch the best, reforming this so that his branch can gain more power. Completely ridiculous. So I want you guys to look out for that and put your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. What do you guys think of this? Thank you guys for tuning into my video. And then on my next video, we're going to be talking about how Trump talked at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville. Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. If you guys can invest with big dogs, stay on the porch. Thank you guys and have a good one.